What's going on, guys? Today I'll be talking about the top 2013 phones. Now, I'm pretty sure there are plenty more out there, but these are just to name a few. So the first one is the HTC One. HTC has never made a more important phone than the HTC One, and it clearly shows. The phone's aluminum construction looks stunning, and its build quality is as strong as any other phone in the market. It has a 4.7-inch 1080p screen, and it's a class-leading panel with fantastic brightness and color accuracy. Its benchmark scores are the fastest ever recorded, and that means smooth operations throughout the OS. The OS itself is really silky and unique. It features a new version of Sense, which is BlinkFeed. BlinkFeed is a really slick way to browse news stories, your social activity, etc. Moving on to the other features, it has a built-in ER blaster, which can double your phone as a remote. The specs on this phone are really neat. The camera captures sharp detail and bright colors. Now, although the camera may not be that high in megapixels, but hey, it's a good low light camera. The speakers are really loud thanks to the dual speakers on the front, and it even has a decent battery life. It's a phone with very few weaknesses, and that's why it's featured the best smartphone. The next one was featured at CES 2013, which is Sony. They introduced their most flagship phone, which is the Sony Xperia Z. The device represents Sony's most up-to-date and greatest phone. The Sony Xperia Z has a 5-inch 1080p Bravia engine display, a quad-core processor, which is a 1.5 GHz Snapdragon Crate processor, 2 gigs of RAM, and has a very elegant style. Sony has made this possible with covering the whole phone with glass, and it just feels right and premium. It features a magnificent 13 megapixel camera, and on top of that, it's also shipped with Android 4.1 Jelly Bean. After all of that, it is also water and dust proof. That's pretty unique in a phone which is that high spec. Moving on to the Galaxy S4. The Galaxy S4 steadily draws from the same design language as the S3, but takes almost every spec to an extreme. The screen is larger, which is 5 inches. The resolution is also greater, which is 1080p. The battery capacity is higher, which is a 2600 milliamp battery, and the processor, most importantly, has improved to a 1.9 GHz quad-core or a 1.6 GHz octa-core, meaning 8 cores, which is absolutely insane. And the rear-facing camera, which is 13 megapixel, it features some really fancy features. Samsung has done a really good job in software-wise. They have added a couple of tweaks such as the translation tool, the eye tracking, and gesture capabilities that allow you to pause a video when you stop paying attention, lets you scroll by using your eyes, and it lets you hover your finger over an item to preview what it is. Once you've gone through the features checklist, it's the software extras that Samsung continues to lean on to keep its phones one step ahead of the competition. Alright, so the next phone I'm going to be talking about, I know it's not been really released in 2013, but I had to mention it simply because of its price and specs. The Nexus 4. The Nexus 4 is the bang for the buck. It's a smooth, elegant looking device, and it comes with a large 4.7-inch HD display, a 1.5 GHz quad-core Snapdragon S4 Pro processor, and plenty of other appealing components. It has a lot in common for LG's current flagship, the Optimus G, and for a starting price of $299 unlocked, it's sure to attract many people who are looking for a budget phone with competing specs. I personally think Google has done a really great job in pricing their products, and it'll help them a lot because a lot of people are looking forward to buy the Nexus 4, and that's a great phone to start with. Moving on to a phone that you have probably not heard of, which is the ZTE Grand S. The ZTE Grand S ships with Android Jelly Bean and is powered by a 1.7 GHz quad-core Snapdragon S4 processor. It also features a 5-inch 1080p display with a pixel density of 440 ppi. The Grand S's other features include a 1700 mAh battery, 2 gigs of RAM, a micro SD card slot, and a Dolby Digital surround sound. With that said, it also has a 2 megapixel front-facing camera and a 13 megapixel rear camera that's capable of shooting 1080p video recordings. ZTE has surprisingly put a lot of effort into this phone. As this is their flagship phone, they have done a great job in design and hardware. So those were the top 2013 phones that just really impressed me in terms of specs and quality. Let me know what your favorite phones are of 2013 down in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, comment, and like.